Hi everyone, welcome back. Let's see what this cruel world has in store for poor Arf today, shall we? So we are level 25, which is quite a bit for this point in the game actually. And we are about to have our first really difficult boss fight. You thought the wizards were bad? Or like, they're not called wizards in this version, they're called wizards in the NES version. The Pisco demons were bad? Well, maybe they're worse actually, we'll find out. So last time we went to the March Cave, defeated the Pisco demons and got the crown. And usually you're supposed to come here first. And this kingly fellow over there gives you the quest to retrieve his crown. But we already did that, so we kind of skipped that. And when we talk to him now, he's all like, "Mwahaha, you fell right into my trap. I'm actually Astos, the bad evil dark elf, the guy who cursed the prince of Elfland." And that's gonna be our first boss fight. Oh, and he stole the crystal eye, which belongs to the witch Matoya, who we also didn't visit. I'm sorry for skipping over so much of the story, but again, it's just fetch quests for now. Alright, Astos. Astos has, I think, 420 HP. Here's the thing with Astos. In the NES version, he had a 15% chance to use a physical attack and a 75% chance to use a spell. And the thing is, the order in which he used these spells in the NES version was fixed, so he would always start off by casting Death. Which, in a solo challenge run, is a bit of a problem. Because he has a really high chance of just instantly killing your only party member. Now in the Pixel Remaster they changed that, they made his script basically random. So he has an 11.11 chance, I think, of using a physical attack and an 11.11 chance for each of his spells. So he's even more likely to cast a spell, and there's some other nasty ones in there, like Pandara or Slowra and other status afflicting spells. But at least we only have an 11.11 chance of getting hit by Death. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna have to hope to... Oh, nice, that missed. Okay, that's 185 damage. He has 420, so 2 more attacks should kill him. If we're lucky. That's gonna hurt. Okay, doesn't hurt as bad as I thought. Okay, if we can get another attack to land, then... Am I gonna do this first try? Did I overstate the difficulty of this boss? I think I did. But yeah, again, he's a much bigger problem in the NES version. I did not expect to beat him first try. I was ready to undergo another grinding session, but apparently we just did it. Alright, and we got Matoya's Crystal Eye. So yeah. Very nice, that went way better than I expected. Poor Arf can finally catch a break. Alright, so the next things on our agenda is just doing like fetch quest stuff, basically. Just like some chill exploration, which is a nice change of pace. The next big dungeon on our agenda will be the Shrine of Earth, or Temple of Earth. Don't think we're gonna do that today, but let's see. Let's see how far we can get. These will still do a lot of damage. I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna be careful still. I'm not gonna let this victory get to my head. But yeah, that was a nice change of pace after the horror that was the March Cave, honestly. Maybe this challenge isn't so bad. But yeah, I haven't played this game in a while, and I haven't looked up the story progression for this challenge run, so we'll just kind of have to go with the flow and figure things out by ourselves, which is fine by me. I do know that once I beat the Earth Shrine, it might be a good idea to go for the Castle of Ordeals and try and get the Healing Rod and some other items. I think there's the gauntlets there as well. Like items that cast spells in battle when you use them, because that will make up for our magic deficiency. And Arf should be able to use those. Okay, wait a second. I wanted to check the items as well. That's really the only thing we need to spend money on. How much? Oh, we get quite a bit of gil, actually. Got quite a bit. So let's stock up on potions. Let's get some more high potions. Eye drops are probably a good idea too, honestly. And some more sleeping bags. I think I'm just gonna stick with sleeping bags. And put the rest of our money into high potions. There we go. That's the advantage of playing a monk. You have a lot of disposable income. Poor fighter has to buy all his expensive equipment. The poor mages have to buy all of their expensive spells. And we're just sitting here punching ogres in the face. And that's all we ever need. Alright. Let us set sail for Coneria once more. Kill those sharks. Said kill those sharks. Although I do think Sahagin Chiefs can stun you? Maybe not. Maybe I'm mistaken. They don't seem to do much. So yeah, imagine in the original version of the game, the NES version, with the item situation, there was only the normal potions, there was no high potions, and apparently I was mistaken in the first episode, you could carry 99 of these, but they only healed 30 HP, and it's the only healing item you got. And 99 potions that only heal 30 HP is not a lot in this game. Not at all. They're gonna be gone very quickly, and you have to stock up again. And I don't think that version had ethers at all. You just had to conserve your spell charges. And yeah, Final Fantasy I does have a spell charge system similar to Final Fantasy III, which was, of course, based on the Vancian magic system in D&D. And at least you don't have to memorize spells in advance like you have to do in D&D. You could just cast any first level spell with your first level spell charges. As long as you had those, but still, that's a lot less than in most systems based on like just MP. You know? Alright. Oh, we could have just parked up there. Could have just parked here. Oh well. Can't hurt to take a little walk. Most of the enemies here are not a problem. Ooh. Yeah, this encounter would have spelled death for us. In the beginning of the game, I'm pretty sure. Like, these Vark wolves would have just chewed through our health. So that's one reason why I didn't decide to do a lot of exploring and go to Matoya at the beginning of the run. Even though the game kinda wants you to. The game encourages you to explore, which is nice. And we got animated brooms. Frontwards, backwards, any way you see. Such a strange spell to swish swishery. And yeah, speaking backwards, it's cancel and L1? It's just telling you how to open the world map, which we can just do. And it's Matoya the witch. She's blind because she ain't got her crystal eye. Apparently there's a character based on her also called Matoya in Final Fantasy XIV. I've never gotten to her. But I mean, Final Fantasy XIV is basically Final Fantasy fan service central. Which I do appreciate. That was like the most fun part of the game for me, just seeing all the little references and recognizing all the music and such. That was cool. Aha! And she gives us a potion in exchange for her crystal eye. The Jolt Tonic. And with that we can awaken the sleeping elf prince. Yeah, again, lots of fetch quests. Lots of little self-contained, or not self-contained, it's basically a big series of fetch quests that feed into each other. At least until we get to the next dungeon. But yeah, I think this episode is just gonna be some chill exploration, as we like run around the land and explore. Explore places that we couldn't before. Get to new places, visit old places, and do some backtracking when we get certain items that gives us access to certain things. Tie up loose ends. I think this is actually gonna be a relaxing episode, the first one in this entire challenge run. Maybe I shouldn't say that too loud, maybe something will kick our ass. It's like level 25 is quite a lot for this part of the game, I think. Even with a single character. I'm sure the Earth Shrine will be atrocious again, don't worry. Don't worry. I am glad. I am glad that I have masochistic tendencies. I mean, who am I kidding? I'm just a masochist. So I enjoy... I enjoy the pain. Punching Sahagin in the face. Take that, Gary Gygax, who... I'm not even sure he designed all of these monsters, honestly. There were probably other people as well. Gary Gygax just likes taking credit for things. I will say, when it comes to D&D, I really do enjoy the older editions more. It's just that they, as written, they are very terribly laid out and designed, which is why I like retro clones that kind of fix them up and make them more accessible. Because Gary Gygax didn't give a shit about making his games accessible. The guy was an asshole. He was like an elitist. He wrote his rules just for him and his wargaming buddies initially, basically. That changed with AD&D First Edition, but he was still a dick by then. He was also massive misogynist and racist, but that's another can of worms. But yeah, I do like the old style of D&D more, like 0 edition, basic edition, AD&D first edition, where the game was like a little more deadly and focused on dungeon crawling. I do like that. Second edition is cool too. That's when they took the game away from Gary and made it more accessible without sacrificing what made D&D D&D. And then WotC took over Wizards of the Coast, and everything turned to shit. That's like my opinion anyway. I don't like 5e at all. It feels like a power fantasy. That's not what I play D&D for. It's like people make like builds for their characters. That's ridiculous. Like Second Wind, your fighter can just heal themselves. Ridiculous. All right. Let us awaken the sleeping prince. Can we not kiss him awake? Like in a fairy tale? Get a big smooch from Ol Arf over here? And he immediately recognizes us as the legendary warriors. I'd expect him to wake up and be like the Limmy gif, where he just wakes up and is like, what the fuck is even going on? But no, he's immediately locking in. And we got the Mystic Key, alright. Now this key gives us access to a bunch of things that we couldn't before. There was a bunch of locked doors in past dungeons that I glossed over, including the March Cave, which I'm not going back to because there's nothing there that's really worth getting. Except maybe the silver armlet, which the monk can wear, but I'm pretty sure the way the monk works is that they're just better off without any armor at all. So I'm not gonna get that until I feel like I absolutely need it. And yeah, we get a bunch of gil, which is nice, and a bunch of stuff that we're just gonna sell. Oh. More wolves. And now it's time to backtrack to Cornelia again. There's two places we want to go. There is a bunch of locked doors in Cornelia Castle, which we can now open with the Mystic Key. And there's also a bunch of doors in the Chaos Shrine. And while we're at it, we're also gonna check out the rest of the first floor of the Chaos Shrine that we didn't really before, because we just beeline for Garland. Maybe there's gonna be something nice there. I don't mind backtracking through the Chaos Shrine. I mind backtracking through the March Cave. Because that place is still pretty deadly. Nice, Buccaneers. Those give a lot of gil. And they can't really touch us. Alright, yeah, the combined strength of these encounters is still nibbling at my health. We still can't... We still gotta be careful. I am kind of fumbling for words today, I'm sorry. I just woke up. My brain isn't working right. I apologize for my hot D&D takes. I'm sure some people are gonna be upset about that, but... Please keep in mind that this is just subjective. I don't wanna... You can enjoy your 5e campaign, it's fine. Just like, you know, try something different sometime. Get a Red Cloak Crone, get yourself some basic fantasy RPG or old school essentials, and try out a campaign in the olden style. With lots of character depth and randomization and resource management. It could be fun sometime, you know? I think you should treat these old games kind of like a fantasy survival horror almost. Although maybe not as dark necessarily, there's still like some levity. But yeah, there's like many great modules out there. I really like Basic Fantasy because the guy who makes it is not an asshole. He's like a genuinely nice guy. And you can get all of his books for free in PDF form if you just want to have a look. And if you want to buy them in print, they're all like printed at cost. So he basically makes almost no money from it, and they're really cheap. You can get like the core rules for $5 to $10, I think. Or 5 to 10 euros, I'm not sure how much that is in dollars. I think that's probably similar, right? Why did I go here first? Why didn't I check out the castle? I was just so immersed in my own waffling, I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. We gotta go here eventually. But yeah, support independent creators in the TTRPG scene. Not just those people who make D&D retro clones, but others as well. Don't give your money for Wizards of the Coast for like an overpriced $60 rulebook. That's like fucking ridiculous. And it doesn't even contain all the rules you need to play everything. It's so ridiculous. I do not understand people who defend Wizards of the Coast practices when it comes to that, when there's so many free or cheap alternatives that are just better designed as well. It's baffling to me. But then again, I also play Magic the Gathering, so maybe I should just shut my mouth. It's not like I don't give Wizards money as well. Although most of that is for second-hand cards nowadays. But it's still feeding into the Magic economy, I guess. I love fighting wolves. I love fighting packs of 7 to 9 wolves and having to wait forever for my turn. Imagine if this was the NES version and we didn't have the fast-forward thingy. It'd take forever. I do want to play... I'm not sure I want to play... I think I've said this before, but I don't think I want to play Final Fantasy III again in the NES version. But I do want to play Final Fantasy II, and maybe the first one. Because I kind of feel like you need to experience the originals to like really have an informed opinion about them. We get the Werebuster, which is a sword that busts were creatures. Useless to us. So yeah, I'm not sure what treasures are here, so I'm just seeing if there's anything we can use. And I mean, we can always use more gil, so selling all these equipment items is not so bad. We got the rune plate. Ooh, that sounds fancy. A sword that is effective against spellcasters. You know what else is effective against spellcasters? Arse fists in their face. Arf will steal their lunch money. Alright, Skellington's still not a problem. And we're also getting more XP slowly but surely, which is nice. It's very, very nice. A single wolf! Quaking in fear at the presence of Arf. Okay, let's check out the castle. Oh, we can't enter the castle from the side? God damn it. I mean, I guess that makes sense. I guess that's what the town walls are for. Yeah, poor goblins. heard that someone made a recreation of this game, of the NES version of this game in RPG Maker, which is impressive. I just always question, and I don't mean this in a mean way, it is very impressive how much time and effort people put into these recreations. I just question the need for something like that. Like, I can just play the NES version. I don't really understand. I mean, if you just do it to get like a better understanding for like programming and such, and you don't have any idea for like an original story, then I can see that helping. I just, as a player, I just wouldn't like want to play that. I don't know. And we got nitro powder, which is our next quest item. We'll find out what we need that for. Yeah, no, old man. Ooh, we got a cottage. Alright. Got some nice stuff. Let's see. Let's sell all of this useless junk that Arf doesn't know how to use. Arf just understands the way of the fist. Don't need that, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that, don't need gold needles, don't need the Werebuster. Alright. Very nice. Oh, we got some excess staves we can sell that are not held by the Black Mages. Okay. Oh, what do we do with all this money? Yes, buy high potions. I have 99 of those as well, because these are our best source of healing right now. And 150 HP at a time is not necessarily enough to outpace the damage of a lot of enemies. Okay, let's get a bunch of those and a bunch of those too. Alright. We are set. In terms of items, we are absolutely set. Alright, what do we do with the nitro powder, you ask? Well, we haven't really explored with our ship over here. The chutzpah of these sharks just jumping on board our ship, trying to eat us. Oh, I didn't even... Oh, got another level up. That's nice. Hey, I'm not exactly sure where it is, but there is a place close by where we can park our ship. Also, yeah, if I ever fumble like words and such, or don't know what something is called, I am not a native English speaker. Just so you know, I think this... I'm not sure if this part up there is the part we need to go. No, I'm pretty sure it is. Maybe I should go back. But yeah, sometimes I just don't know what something is called in English. I like to think my vocabulary is pretty good, but sometimes I'm just searching for a word and I can't find it, or I can only think of the German equivalent. But that happens to me with German words too. Well, like, oh, I can't think of the German word, but I can think of the English word, which is strange. I would kind of like to learn more languages as well. I am kind of glad that English is not my native language, because English is fairly easy to learn, and it basically, having an other native language gives you one language for free, and like native English speakers have to work a lot harder to learn another language. And I'm not saying English is super easy, but if you grew up on the internet, which is very English-centric, you'll pick up a lot. Okay, I think it's south of here? Yes. Let's check out this cave. It's Mount Durgar. It's another D&D term. Durgar are like the dark the dark dwarves even. They're basically the dwarven equivalent of the drow. But I think these are supposed to be normal dwarves. Lally-ho! It's the dwarven greeting, and of course they're Scottish, like every good dwarf. Krista, I even a blind can see. Yeah, we already resolved that, thank you though. Got a bunch more gil, I don't even know what to do with that anymore. I really like the music here. I love the arranged soundtrack for the Pixel remasters, I have to say. Like, just the flute in this is so nice. Okay, this is Smith the Dwarven Smith. He wants some adamantite, which to craft the legendary sword with. That is a side quest that we can't resolve into much later. And if I get that sword, if I even bother to do that, I'm just gonna sell it anyway. Arf has no need for swords. The Levystone, eh? But yeah, I do like the structure of these old RPGs, where you just get this big world to explore that gradually opens up. And you don't really have much of a story to follow. You just walk around, talk to NPCs, and the NPCs give you like a hint on where you might want to go next. The first Phantasy Star is really good about this. Like, so much of that game is just optional quests for like powerful equipment. Which is maybe not that optional because you need all the strength you can get. But it makes sense because it's a story about revenge. You're there to avenge your brother who got killed by like an evil tyrant, and so of course a lot of your quest involves getting stronger so you can beat him. And I think that's really cool. Maybe I should do Phantasy Star sometime. Phantasy Star is kinda close to my heart because it is the first RPG to my knowledge with a female protagonist, which is really nice. It was made by a woman too. And we can give Narek the Nitro Powder. But yeah, it's one of my favorite 8-bit RPGs, Phantasy Star. My favorite would be Earthbound Zero. And honestly, I think that's all that I played actually in terms of like actual 8-bit RPGs. I don't count this because it's a remake or remaster. That changes a lot. No, that's not true. I played some of the old Dragon Warrior games as well. I definitely finished Dragon Warrior 1. But for the earlier Dragon Warrior games, so 1, 2, and 3, I really like the SNES remakes. They're really good. They look so nice, especially 1 and 2 with their like early SNES game look. I love the early SNES RPGs because they still look like NES games, just with a bigger color palette and a little more detail. And I just love that blocky old school look. So games like Final Fantasy IV or Dragon Quest V, they just look really charming to me. If I do Final Fantasy IV Let's Play, I'll probably go with the Pixel remaster, just for consistency. But I do really want to play the original version. There's like a great translation of it. I forgot the name. Alright, we basically blew up a huge chunk of land, and now we can leave. Now we can go anywhere with our ship. But yeah, I really do think Final Fantasy I is like a masterclass in world map design when it comes to RPGs. It feels like a big puzzle box that slowly unravels as we unlock more vehicles, more key items to get places and such. It's really good. Come on. Come on, Arf, you got this. Like, look at this. We have this huge, like, body of water that, yeah, you get the ship, and the ship opens up a lot, obviously, but you don't have access to the entire ocean. We have to go through this whole thing with Elfland, and Astos, and the March Cave, in Matoya, and the Dwarves, this whole quest line. And then this place opens up, and now we have access to the entire ocean, but we still don't have access to everything around the world. We need the airship for that. And that's just really cool, and I think Final Fantasy 1 might be one of the first games to have like a world map like that. I'm just gonna lean myself out of the window and say that. I mean, Dragon Warrior 2 came out at around the same time, maybe earlier, I think. And that also had a really cool world map, but that didn't have the airship that really opened things up. And that game was just, as soon as you got the ship, the whole world was open to you, basically. Final Fantasy 1 does things a little more piecemeal, which I think is probably good, but it's still, like, open enough that you can explore a lot. But you don't feel as lost and directionless as you feel in Dragon Warrior 2. Which, I mean, that has its own appeal as well. Like, I think Dragon Warrior 2 is a very underappreciated game. It's another weird case, similar to Final Fantasy 2, where people kind of hate the first sequel for some reason. Because it's more ambitious. And I mean, yes, Dragon Warrior 2 is grindy, it is hard. But it makes it fun. I think it was the first RPG where you had like a 3-person party like that. I'm not sure actually, I'm not sure if Phantasy Star came out before. Where you have like 4 people. I'm waffling. Okay, this is Melmond, and as you can see, the Earth here is kind of fucked up. Because the elements are going haywire. We have to deal with that. Gotta restore the crystals. The Earth crystal regains its glow, life will return to the Earth. Yeah, maybe we can save this place if we do that. Well, what shop does your father run? You gotta tell me. There's different shops here. A vampire, huh? I mean, to be fair, if I was a vampire, the first thing I would destroy would probably be the church as well. That just seems sensible. That's usually where all the anti-vampire crusades are coming from. Can't really blame him, really. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, again, nothing useful here. Gotta go to the Earth Shrine. Oh, it's Watts. He's a dwarf. The Ancients, huh? Make ships float in the sky. Oh. Yeah, again, the world in this is interesting with the Ancients and such. Cave to the south, we'll check that out. Okay, there's another hint. Again, listen to the NPCs when you play these old games. The genius Dr. Une. I do like how Final Fantasy keeps recycling names. There was a Une in Final Fantasy 3 too, as well, yeah. Except it was a woman. So yeah, this person has a name, so they're gonna be important as well. Cavern of Earth is to the south of Melnund. Alright, we gotta get there. The vampire lives in the Cavern of Earth. Alright, and we're gonna go there anyway. Let's just check the armor shop. Yeah, again, we could use the silver armlet, but again, I don't think that's actually beneficial. I may buy it. But I think I'll leave it here. I'll keep this a chill episode without any struggle. It's a nice change of pace. And next time we're gonna head to the Cavern of Earth and see if we can do something about this whole earth rotting situation and kick some vampire ass, maybe. Alright, thank you all for watching. I'm Dizzy, and I'll be seeing ya. Bye bye.